Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Hey, this is ASU Sun Devil lacrosse coach Tim McCormick, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is home for the Dan Patrick Show.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you. Empowering education and enabling dreams. Right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show here on a Saturday morning, October 16th, 2021. My name is Vince Delicio, and so happy, so excited to bring you another great show, another fast-paced show. We've got an hour, and as we've been saying all week, you miss a minute, you miss a lot. We've got a lot of things going on. We've had a great couple of days of football. As you know, the Varsity Sports Show and NFHS are pleased every Thursday night to bring you the TNF Thursday Night Football High School Game of the Week, and this one definitely didn't disappoint. We had Buckeye, the Hawks, Buckeye High School went out there, and the town of Buckeye recently celebrated 100 years as a town, and the high school has been a big part of that for many, many years in that community. A lot of pride in that community and great people, and it was a battle. It was a great game between Buckeye and Deer Valley. The Deer Valley Skyhawks coming in with an undefeated record, and unfortunately they left there with a 5-1 record, and Buckeye improved to 4-2, and so hopefully we can reach Buckeye Hawks coach Kelly Moore here shortly, and we'll also be joined by my broadcast partner of the evening, Mr. Bailey Lazier. Moving along, last night we had an incredible couple of games, actually. We streamed 2 games, broadcast 2 games for you, and those games are archived. You can go back and watch them if you'd like. Just go to our Twitter, @Varsity Show, and you'll find them there. And it was games between the Saguaro Sabercats hosting a team from Los Angeles, from the San Fernando Valley, Chatsworth to be specific, Sierra Canyon, the Trailblazers, and that was a battle going back and forth. And Saguaro came out in the second half and had a great end of the third quarter. Defense really stepped up, and they came away with a win. Great, big, huge win for Saguaro with potentially some major implications down the road as we get toward the end of the season and getting those young men ready for the postseason. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but Saguaro is on a roll. And finally, Canyon View, the Jaguars. We had a game that we streamed. We brought you last night, our broadcast team, Parker Denny and Ryan Blank brought you that game from Yuma. It was the Kofa Kings, and Canyon View just rolled last night. Big win for them. Congratulations to Coach Nick Gerritsen. We'll be bringing him on as well for the Jag Nation today. finally, a couple other things. Good friend of mine named Arthur Johnson, who I worked with many, many moons ago out at Arizona State. He was the director of football operations while I was a graduate assistant coach. And he's moved up through the ranks through the years. He's persevered. And he's one of the few good ones left in this business. And he is now the athletic director at Temple University in Philadelphia, Division I program. It's been his dream, and he is doing it and achieving it. And he moved his family from the University of Texas, Austin, where he was a senior associate AD. Now he's the athletic director at Temple. So we'll hear from Arthur. And then finally, in our JUCO report, we've got some interesting news related to the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Really excited to present it to you, and a new partnership they have. Parents and kids, you definitely will want to hear this. It's a partnership that is going to bring you low tuition and academic advising and transferable credits, all part of the HJCAC in a partnership they have with Snow College. So you'll want to listen to that final segment, as we'll hear from Terry Clausen, the vice president of academic success for Snow, and that'll be in the final segment. But first, let's talk to you a little bit about Thursday night football, and we'll bring in the Buckeye Hawks head football coach Kelly Moore and my broadcast partner Bailey Lazier. Coach Moore, Bailey, how you guys doing?
Outstanding. How's it going?
Awesome. Great to hear from you, Coach. Coach, you know, I got to tell you, you are the only coach, before we start talking football, I got to talk about the character of this man. Coach, you've been doing this for a long time, and I got to tell you, you know how to treat people. I mean, I get a text from you 90 minutes before the game. You're either very confident that your team is going to, walk away with a win, or you just care about people, or both. But you text me 90 minutes before the game telling me that your wife bought us some sandwiches and you'd have dinner ready for us. Come on.
No, hopefully that's what we do. If I didn't do that, my mom and dad, bless their soul, would reach down from heaven and slap the dog crap out of me. So,
Coach, that was a heck of a game. Bailey and I called that game, and we just came away very impressed in your team. You beat a quality opponent. Tell us a little bit about the game plan going in.
Well, honestly, it's probably just the quality of our kids, for sure. I mean, we got spanked the week before, and probably never been flatter. And then, of course, they came with some energy Thursday night for sure. Of course, our assistant coaches are hammering them all week about that stuff. So I appreciate the whole situation here. It just fits together. I would say we're just a bunch of average coaches, average football players, hitting it together. And so when synergy is part of the deal, then obviously it looks like it did.
Wow.
Coach,
Go ahead, Bailey.
Coach Bailey Lazier. We in that game on Thursday, we saw some creativity in the playbook with some reverse passes for touchdowns. I mean, Jalen Richardson, your receiver, was even through a pass. How important were those plays in the overall game plan for the game this past Thursday?
Well, I'll tell you that is a great question, because through our first 6 games, those moments have been critical in every game, either for the good or for the bad. Coach Pooney Ellis is the one that calls the plays, and those are the moments when he's called those that have been game changers. So it's all credit goes to him, and of course the ability of the kids to perform it.
Well, Coach, it was a back and forth game, and we were wondering what the big plays were going to be in terms of instead of just trading touchdowns, what was going to happen
Right.
that was going to cause one of the teams to really stand out, and we saw a lot of that in the second half. What are a couple of the kids, in your opinion, that really stood out the other night? We know there were a few for sure. Your quarterback had a great game. You had a receiver that named Jalen Richardson that really stood out on all sides of the ball, as well as a pretty stout running back.
Right. Yeah, Viliami Tongatea, he came to play, but I got to tell you, he's been running like that all year. I think the critical part of the game, at least offensively, was the execution of the line, and maybe more importantly, the ability of our receivers to finally start stock blocking. And so that, gave him an opportunity to get in space. And Billy takes great pride in being the next Derrick Henry. I mean, he'll straight arm you into the dirt. And so that was an important part of the game.
Wow.
Coach, in the first half, kind of going more off the game, a lot of points were scored in the first half. Did your team have the feeling that you guys made the defensive adjustments in the second half, you guys would come away with the victory?
I kind of didn't hear you, but I did hear you say something about first half compared to second half and halftime. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of points scored in the first half. So,
sure. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's been an interesting deal. Not that we changed anything. Maybe the kids just sharpened up at halftime, a little better execution in the second half, and then what we just talked about, those moments, that halfback pass or the punt return for a touchdown, or we've got we had 8 kids, we had 8 starters out the week before. We don't cry about that. We just play. We get to play and we can't wait to play. And so that's what happened. We got 4 of those kids back this last week, and it made a difference. It made a difference in the I guess the good feelings and the synergy part of our team.
Coach, I'm looking at the remaining schedule. You're heading down this coming week down to Tucson to play Saguaro.
Right.
Then you're at Moon Valley. Then you've got the big intertown rivalry there with Yonker, and you finish off with Estrella Foothills. What can you say with those remaining 4 games on the schedule?
Well, right now, we're just paying attention to Saguaro. I try not to get too far ahead of anything. We absolutely have to go one team, one play at a time. I love Scott McKee. Got introduced to him 20 years ago when I was at Independence. Love what he does. Love the man. And, of course, he has a couple legends on his staff in Johnny Rodriguez and Doug Holland. So looking forward to, a classical matchup with coaches and players.
Bailey, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We all good, guys?
Yeah. One more
Hey,
question.
I'm calling from Buckeye, man. There's no telling. We lose. We might be speaking on a can and a rope here in a minute. So.
There we go, Coach. That's good stuff. Bailey, let's wrap this up here at our final minute here. Do you have one more question for Coach Moore? This guy's busy. He's a busy guy. He's got to coach a team.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah, we just came off the field coaching freshmen, right?
Oh,
I mean, we're trying to help everybody. We have to, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do this since we're up against a hard stop here.
Okay.
Bailey, stay on the line. Coach Moore, thank you so much. Congratulations on the win. Big win over Deer Valley Thursday night, 49-28. You guys are sitting at 4-2. Good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate you. Thanks again for feeding us, and you're always a class act, and we appreciate you calling in, Coach.
Love you guys taking care of Arizona football. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Great. So, Bailey, your player of the game Thursday night, who was it?
There was a lot of couple players, like you said, Vince, but I'd probably have to go with Jalen Richardson.
Yeah.
He made plays on offense, defense, and special teams. He had a pretty big interception that I really thought got the defense going for Buckeye. Even had a pass. I mean, he was just all over the field. And I think at this level, if you have a player like that, and he makes plays like that, you have a good chance to win.
Awesome. Bailey, thanks so much for calling in. Bailey Lazier, my broadcast partner from Thursday Night Game of the Week. When we come back, folks, we'll be joined by Saguaro High School in Scottsdale head football coach Jason Mons for the SaberCat Report. Big segment, as well as Canyon View's Nick Garretts. Join us through the break and after. Go Varsity.
Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. It's James Out West featuring Ryan Rooks as the duo breaks down the NFL, NBA, and the local sports scene here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, this is Canyon View High School girls basketball coach Desiree Carranza, and you are listening to Home of the Jaguars Basketball, the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Are you unable to do the things you love? Do you know your daily habits could be better to enhance your quality of life? Are you suffering with chronic pain or chronic illness and can't find the right solution that works for you? Fix Body Group was created so you have a team of professionals to help you achieve your health goals and get you back to doing what you love again. In Scottsdale, go to fixbodygroup.com or call 480-795-5329. Fix Body Group, proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675. Hey guys, Vince here from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in this fall for the Thursday night high school football game of the week and a special segment at halftime called the My Recruits Varsity Sports Show Thursday Night Football Tip of the Week. Take it away, Coach Perrone.
That's right, Vince. Every Thursday night, we are going to give a tip and some knowledge for the viewers and the listeners who are getting ready for the big stage. And also, we're going to talk about various recruits, top prospects from around the Valley.
Tune in every Thursday night at halftime of the Varsity Sports Show NFHS Thursday Night Game of the Week featuring My Recruit segment with Coach Perrone and me.
The decades of sports experience pouring out Tuesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. with Killer Bees Ball with Jim Brinson and Howard Balzer on AM 1060 and KTUS1060.com.
This is the SaberCat Report with Saguaro SaberCat football coach Jason Mons on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Mons.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince Delisio here. It is time for the SaberCat Report, where we feature the Saguaro SaberCats head football coach Jason Mons and his weekly post-game wrap. And also joined by my broadcast partner from last night's game, Mr. Ryan Sikora. Coach Mons, how are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
All right. Walking a little lighter today and watching some film, working out with your team. I'm sure quite a game last night. I got to tell you that it was exciting. It was low scoring, obviously, initially, and then something clicked in the third quarter. Did you deliver a pretty impassioned Arab Parsegian speech at halftime? What happened?
Yeah, I think we just talked about just settling in and doing what we do, and it was tough. I thought we started the game really well offensively. We were moving the ball up and down the field, and then got a field goal on our first drive, and then kind of stalled on our second one. And I think we had a couple injuries that just kind of took the wind out of our sail, and a lot of the stuff that we had kind of scripted based on personnel kind of got thrown up in the air, and so. We just had to settle back in. We had to just kind of go back and get back to the basics and the stuff that we've kind of hung our hat on up to this point in the season. And we felt like if we did that, we'd have a good chance. And then, obviously credit to our defense. Our defense played phenomenal last night. Took the ball away, gave us some short fields, and we capitalized and scored enough points on a good team and played great defense and obviously came away with a big-time win.
Yeah, and Coach, you mentioned that defense. One guy that really impressed me was John Butler, but he didn't really make the big plays. But one guy who really made the big plays, for me at least, was Myler Teramo, and he's such a fascinating individual and how energetic he is, and what kind of player is he, and how does his energy really help the team?
Yeah, we his name's Miller, but he goes by Bo, and so Bo is he's our Florida transplant and showed up this spring and just has a dynamic personality, great energy, loves the game, plays with a ton of passion, and just one of those guys when he's on the field he makes everybody around him better because he just plays with great intensity and great passion. He had a great game last night. His mom was in town from Florida, first time that she had been here to be able to see him play, and so he was playing with a little bit extra motivation last night. He really was a spark for us on defense, and the interception at the end kind of put that thing away.
Yeah, amazing play all the way around. But let's talk about the defense last night. And Tristan Monday came in, played big once again. I mean, this guy is incredible. He was all over the field, as well as some other stalwarts there that really stepped up and played well. Talk a little about the defensive game plan coming in and how all that played out for you.
Yeah, I thought Jim Camarillo, our D coordinator, and that our defensive staff is second to none. I mean, if you go across the guys that we have on that side of the ball that are coaching, I mean, we've got a phenomenal coach at every position and multiple guys that have D coordinator experience. I think we have 3 guys that have been D coordinators on our staff at the highest level in Arizona, and I thought we did a great job with the game plan. Our kids were dialed in. Obviously the probably the biggest offensive line. I don't know if there's many high school teams in the country that have a bigger, more talented offensive line than Sierra Canyon. They had both their tackles are Power 5 guys. Their guard committed to Air Force, and 2 other guys that were big and good too. And so we knew we had our work cut out. Tristan going against tackle, one committed to Oregon, one committed to Stanford. He was the best player in the field, last night, and he dominated those guys and was a huge impact for us. But Mike Alutu, who plays some 2 ways for us, who's our starting right tackle, played a bunch on the D-line last night, had his best game. He really played physical. Magnum West was really good up front. Zach Macaroli, who's a converted linebacker, who's the smallest guy up there, but plays with the biggest heart. He was not getting blown back. He was taking on double teams. I mean, he was scratching a claw. He's beat to crap this morning, but he gave us everything he had. And, I thought those guys did a great job. And then, obviously our secondary, Bo and Cole Shivers and those guys, Thomas DeCesaro, they locked it down and they were opportunistic, forced turnovers. And, that's what you need to do to beat a good team. You got to protect the ball and you got to try to take it away.
Turning that focus to the offense, I guess my last question is probably going to be, what went into the decision to, obviously Ridge has been great the first 5 games, and last night was game 6, and you bring in all these transfers, and Devin's a great quarterback, and he's a good athlete, and he brings a different dimension, but what was the decision to go ahead and split time between the 2?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, we've got 2 great players. I mean, it's kind of the same thing we look at with the running back. Zacchaeus Cooper gets eligible, and the other 2, Brian and Jaden, have been playing so well. Well, what do? You want to give, you want to give Zacchaeus some run as well. So we kind of look at the quarterback position the same way, to be honest with you. If you got 2 really good ones, you got to find a way to get them on the field and utilize their strengths and force the defense to have to prepare for it. So, Devin's a phenomenal player. He brings a different element to the game, and that was tough. That was a tough first game for all those transfers to go right into a game of that caliber, that kind of intensity against that caliber of an opponent. So, but Devin brings an element to the team that's dynamic and can do some different things in the read option game. Obviously, he has a big time arm, makes throws. So, there was not much of a decision. That was the plan all along. And Ridge has been phenomenal, like you said. Ridge, he's just gotten better each week. He's got a really good grasp and control of the offense right now, and he kind of got in last night. And when we had the injuries and we tried to give a different look, and we were kind of stalled out a little bit, I thought he came back in and settled us down and took control and kind of got us back on track. So, but yeah, no, I think we're going to utilize our players, we're going to utilize our talent, and try to be able to attack defenses in a lot of different ways. So that's always our plan.
Coach, congratulations once again on the win last night. Big win over Sierra Canyon out of Chatsworth, California. You got another big one this week, probably the biggest game of the year. You're hosting Horizon for homecoming. Horizon's coming in with a 6-0 record, so this is going to be a battle, and you got your work cut out for you. Obviously, we saw Horizon play last week. They're pretty good, but you guys are pretty good too. So congrats, and Coach, good luck.
All right, guys, appreciate you.
All right. So, Ryan, player of the game last night.
You can go down the line, bunch of great performers. That first half, Derek English, that first drive really dominated the headlines. For me, it's got to go on the defensive side of the ball. And Tristan Monday was great up front. And
yeah,
the guys who are going to get the turnovers on the secondary are going to get all the headlines. But Tristan Monday causes those turnovers with his pressure. I'm going to give it to Tristan Monday.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I was a little torn because Javen had a great game as well. Derek English played extremely well early, so great game all the way around. Ryan, thanks again for calling in. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Vince.
All right. Hit it, Aaron.
Hey. You ready?
You are listening to the home of Canyon View Jaguar football, the Jag Nation, on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Nick Garris.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince here, joined for the Jag Nation by Canyon View Jaguars head football coach Nick Garris. Coach Garris, you made it home from Yuma, or are you still out there?
Yeah, we were able to make it home. It's a nice trip, nice time spent with the boys.
There you go. Coach, you also had a football game last night. Congratulations on the win over Kofa. Tell us a little bit about the game plan going in and how things panned out for you. I saw a halftime interview. You didn't look very happy in that interview.
No, and all week we talked about just focusing on ourselves, and we really wanted to get better at our technique and our assignments offensively and defensively. And defensively, I thought they came out and played really well and stuck to their assignments and their technique. And I think offensively, we came out and we weren't up for the task. We were kind of playing down to our competition. I know the score didn't reflect that, but the video sure did. And so I wasn't very happy with the way we were executing. But we came out in the second half, and I thought we executed a lot better.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously, it was a game with a fairly lopsided score. But if you have aspirations, to do well in your league in particular, you set a certain standard and a certain bar. Let's talk a little bit about some of the kids that really stood out for you last night. Who were some of the kids that played up and kept things going?
Yeah, I think defensively, you look at Keegan Landis, who is everywhere all over the field. He was happy for him to have an interception last night, return for a touchdown. He's missed a few this year, so we've been giving him a hard time. So he finally got one. And then Jesse Rocha had a good fumble recovery and for another touchdown. I was giving Coach Hall a hard time because they had back-to-back turnovers for touchdowns, and so the offense wants to play tonight too. If you can quit scoring, we would like to do the scoring. But and then offensively, Matt Flores he's just a bowling ball, and he's fun to watch. And he always runs hard. So and I think some of our senior offensive linemen, Tyler Anderson and Kanoa Blackbear, those guys always come ready to play.
Yeah, I developed a lot of respect, particularly for your running back, Matt Flores. He's you look at him, he's kind of a stocky guy, but the guy can run, and he's a tough kid. And obviously your offensive line and everyone else that's part of that unit that's really contributing to it. And now it looks like things are starting to turn around. The kids are responding, and you being in your first year over there. You stumbled out the gate a little bit early with the team, and now things are really starting to roll for you and your philosophy. Tell us once again about your philosophy of the 1-0.
Yeah, so we just want to take it one game at a time, and really it's one practice at a time, one rep at a time, and just we'll add it up as we go. But we can't harp on things that happened in the past, and if there's a bad play, we can't harp on that. We got to move on, and you get 40 seconds to, pout about it or whatever you got to do, and then we're going to move on, and we got to play the next play. And I think that our kids are really responding well to the standard that we're holding them to, and our seniors are doing a really good job of raising that standard and holding their teammates to that standard. And you see it every Friday night, and we surely see it every Friday night and throughout practice during the week. So, yeah,
well, congratulations. Go ahead.
Well.
Sorry, Coach. Okay.
Yep.
So congratulations once again on the win. You got a big one this week in that 5A Northwest with Independence coming to visit you. And You guys are 4-3, the 1-0 philosophy. So you're 1-0 after last night and 4-3 overall. So congratulations, Canyon View Jaguars head football coach Nick Garretts. Thanks again to the booster parents for feeding our crew last night during pregame. You guys are great. And Julie out there and contacting us, so thank you. When we come back, folks, we're going to be joined by Mr. Arthur Johnson, brand new athletic director out at Temple University. You don't want to miss this one. It'll be a great interview. We'll be back on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Catch Bob Kemp in the Sports Zone every weekday from 9 to 11 right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, this is former NBA All-Star and coach Doug Collins, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com, spelled S-T-E-S-A for style. Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
I'll turn those picks into gold. Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And joined by a very special guest. And if you followed our journey the past couple of weeks here and watched the news, you know that I've been shouting from the top of the rafters just how excited I am for a good friend of mine, an old friend of mine by the name of Arthur Johnson. He was recently named Vice President of Athletics, so in essence, the athletics director at Temple University in Philadelphia, the Owls. And he's joining us on the line now. Arthur, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hey, Vinny, I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Like I said, I'm so excited for you. Life is good, and you know, it's just an incredible move. Temple obviously is getting the right man for the right job, but I wanted to, and I know that we're pressed a little bit for time, so I wanted to kind of run through a couple of things with you and take things back a little bit because you have an interesting journey, an interesting story. And I want to go back, even though it's a relatively short segment, I'd like to go back to Thomasville, Georgia, where you're from. It's a town of right around 20,000 people. It's known for an annual Rose Festival and not much more. You got started, you were an undergraduate student about 30 years ago at the University of Georgia. How did you start on this journey?
Well, first of all, you talk about Thomasville. Thomasville is such a special place with a lot of special people. When you talk about it, it takes a village to raise a child. It's a great village. I had started out with a great foundation with my mother and father, who did a great job of raising, 4 boys and 1 girl, in a great neighborhood, great friends, great people. It was also a community that expected success. It's really an interesting place. Also, Thomasville is, you mentioned the annual Rose Show parade. So to go to the Rose Bowl when I was at Arizona State, that was pretty cool, real cool growing up and having those two synergies. Everything shuts down in Thomasville that week. You get out of school for part of it, and a lot happens around that Rose Show. I left Thomasville and had a chance to go enroll at the University of Georgia, where I had an incredible opportunity to work in athletics to kind of get started. I worked as a football student manager, so that group, any student worker, is very important to me, and I understand the work that they do behind the scenes to help our student athletes be successful. But it really gave me my first insight into college athletics and what it takes to run a program. And I had a chance to stay there for 5 years. I graduated in 4, stayed for graduate school, and then moved into administration, where I started out in event management. So that was kind of my start, and it gave me a tremendous foundation of understanding the operations of this business.
For those of you just tuning in, we are chatting with Temple University Owls newly named athletics director, Arthur Johnson. Athens, Georgia, or I should say the University of Georgia, the student body, the enrollment is double the size of the town you grew up in. So why Georgia? Why University of Georgia?
Obviously, growing up as a kid in a state where the school wins a national championship is it's incredible. So he became an icon there. Then 3 out of 4 years, they were on the cusp of winning national championships. So I got my heart broken a couple of times by Pitt and Penn State in back-to-back years. Yeah. But we're really excited about this new opportunity.
What I'd like to ask you about specific, Arthur, and I apologize for interrupting you on this, but this is a question that weighs heavy on a lot of folks that listen to this show, because this is Sun Devil country. You came across country as a young man for not a lot of money for basically a brand new position. I think the position may have been just a couple of years old at that time. And football operations wasn't necessarily a big deal back then. It was a new position in the mid 90s that was created. And it was a wing and a prayer. You came out west, and in 1996, and you were part of a Rose Bowl team. What was that experience like in coming out all alone and bonding with the late coach Bruce Snyder and the staff and spending a couple of years out here?
Wow. It was an incredible experience. And like you said, the late great coach Bruce Snyder and his family, Mrs. Linda Page, Jennifer, and Tracy, and then all of the coaching staff and the student athletes who played for us, they could not have been more welcome. Obviously, we had an incredible football team, and the record shows in the history of what many of those players went to do after that season and the next couple of seasons. It just showed what a special place it was. It's an unbelievable experience with amazing wins, amazing people, seeing incredible performances by the likes of Michael Martin or the late great Pat Tillman, and of course Jake the Snake Plummer. It was great to see him being inducted into the National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And I expect many more people from those teams to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's great for me now to see Coach Jason Simmons working with Coach Bill Snow out in Charlotte. It's also great to see, Dr. Damian Richardson and the work he's doing. And then when you start talking about people doing special things, Renard Turpin, sure. Turp has been incredible with what he's done at Boeing and the things there. But it was a special time. People made it home made it like home for me. When I think about Sue and Joanne in that office, I think about you and Max and Jimmy and some of the people who were grinding to make it happen. But it was a really special team, and Bruce Snyder obviously was an incredible coach, but he was an even better man in person, and we became even better friends after that. He came to visit me in Austin a couple of times when I was here, and then he and Dr. Ronnie Cox came out to Georgia a couple of times to come to games, and we would go play golf. And
so it's obvious. And for those of you just tuning in, joined by new Temple University Owls athletics director Arthur Johnson, with ties to Arizona State back during our Rose Bowl season, as well as the Sun Bowl and a couple of Aloha Bowls soon after. Arthur, after ASU, you went back to Georgia, spent some time there, a little bit of time in North Carolina, and then had a couple of tours of Texas, most recently, University of Texas, Austin, last year, where you were essentially the number 2 guy in the athletic department, managed the facilities, dealt with fundraising and boosters and that whole side of it. Now, the timing of moving to Temple on the tail end of a pandemic and the issues up there, what was the big draw to Philadelphia?
Well, the first thing is it's an incredible part of the country when you start talking about the history and the things there. But first and foremost, I wanted to be a director of athletics. And so that gave me, they're giving me an opportunity to pursue a dream and reach a dream of mine. It was very important for me to be in the right type of community in terms of not being in a smaller town. We have a 9-year-old son. Okay. So to be able to take him there with so many opportunities there, and there's so much upside. But once I started digging into and researching the position in the institution, what I found is an incredible R1 research institution that has been doing some incredible things there in North Philadelphia. A whole lot of pride with their alumni. It's over 300,000 living alumni in the area who, they work hard, they believe in Temple. It's an all access campus. But in addition, the big draw, once I got into it and learned more, is our president, Dr. Jason Wingard, who was a former student athlete in track and football at Stanford, but he's an incredible visionary who has a great vision for what he wants to do. He, along with the board of trustees at Temple, and the role that they want athletics to play in it. So that made it even more attractive for me. We got a broad-based program. We got a lot of work to do. But another piece that was really huge was learning more about the history of Temple's basketball. I grew up watching the late, great John Chaney, and I knew they had really good basketball programs, but I had no idea that it was the number 5 winningest program of all time. It's a great opportunity. My family and I are extremely excited about going there, rolling up our sleeves and going to serve and work and really go help young people reach their dreams, goals, and aspirations, and really using the vehicle and avenue of college athletics to do that. As college athletics teaches us so many life lessons. I mean, it will have incredible inspirational stories, whether it's a Michael Martin coming back from a broken neck, or a Pat Tillman, or you see great performances like a Jake Plummer. But you also we will have to deal with the heartbreaking defeats, whether it's to Ohio State in the last second when you're on the verge of a national championship, or the next season when you got a chance to go back to a major bowl game and you get upset by Arizona. I mean, you deal with those defeats, or you have a young person get injured or sick, or they don't reach their potential in athletics, but they understand that they got to get up, put their pants back on, go back to work. So the life lessons that we get, and we get to see some inspirational and incredible stories and performances. And while for a lot of years my focus was on football, when I transitioned more into administration, you realize that kind of inspiration takes place in every single sport.
Joined by Temple University Director of Athletics, Arthur Johnson, old personal friend. And Arthur, thanks again. Good luck out there to you and your family.
All right. Thank you. You take care. And Benny, I will be in touch.
Check out The Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hey, this is Coach Perone from My Recruits, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 Arizona, KDUS. Go Varsity!
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Anna and Keith started Stessa Movement Company with their customers' clothing styles in mind. Their goal is to clothe the world your way. High-end, comfortable clothing at affordable prices. Check out their custom-made hats, shirts, masks, and vintage gear. They outfit the Varsity Sports Show crew and sponsor the Stessa Movement Company Player of the Game Award. Find them at stessamovement.ecwid.com, spelled S-T-E-S-A for style.
24th Street Dental Biltmore is the place to go for cosmetic dentistry and Invisalign. Doctors Braden, Turner, and the team are ready to put your dental needs first. They are the Valley's Invisalign experts. Schedule a free exam today and mention the Varsity Show for complimentary in-house whitening. From cleanings to more comprehensive dental, 24th Street Dental Biltmore in Phoenix is the first step toward a healthier smile. Located in the heart of the Biltmore, call or stop by 602-468-1135. Proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, The Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
It's the JUCO Report on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. News and notes from the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now it's time for the JUCO Report. I'm actually joined. We're going to shift gears a little bit. We normally focus on coaches, and we're going to talk a little about academic coaches to a certain degree here. And we're joined by the Vice President of Enrollment and Student Success out at Snow College in Utah. And why you're asking somebody from Snow College joining us here to as part of the JUCO Report here in talking about the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. You guys are going to find out more. There is a very unique partnership going on between Snow and the HJCAC that we'll get into detail on. So joined by Terry Clausen. Terry, how are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we are excited to have you because there is a very unique, exciting partnership that brings a lot to the table for both entities, not only Snow College in working with students, but also the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference because of all the benefits and the support that they're getting from Snow in this thing. The first thing that I want to ask you about is, because I always get asked, well, how credible is this program? Is it something that's solid? Well, let's talk about the fact that Snow College is ranked number 1 in the country in the junior colleges in success metrics. So what does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so Snow College is ranked number 1. What that means is that we have a success rate of 85% or higher. It kind of fluctuates a little, sometimes 86, sometimes 84, but we're right in there. That really helps us determine how many students have graduated with us.
Okay.
So they've gone all 2 years, they've got their degree, they're ready to go, or that they've transferred to a 4-year school. So 85% of the students that start with us end up with a degree or transfer on.
Wow. That's incredible. First of all, the fact that your percentages, your graduation rates are so high. Let's talk about this partnership with the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. What is it? How did it come to be?
So as you're probably aware, junior college football is becoming a little bit a thing of the past. It's harder and harder to find football programs, especially anywhere in the United States right now. It's really dwindling. Yet that's a population of students that's their only chance to get to college. And junior college football really is beneficial in helping that population go on and gain the skills that they need. And football is a great avenue to do that. So this partnership, obviously, with the HGAC, the founders of this league thought it was really, really important that they also focus on the academic success of their students, not only, their success on the field, but they want them to be successful in their academics and in life. And so we're working together to give these students an opportunity to come to Snow College. They take their courses online. We give them the support that they need, and they can work their way towards a degree, while the leagues and the teams are expecting students to perform well academically so that they can play. And so this is a really great partnership where we let them know how their students are doing, if they're making progress in their courses. Obviously, we've done all of the release information that we need legally to do that. And they're helping students, get that college degree.
I'd like to talk about cost, because that's another big issue. There's two extremes here in tuition. You have a tuition even at the junior college level that is unattainable. It's very expensive to take classes. And then on the other end, you have some programs that are very affordable. Where does Snow College fall?
So we're extremely affordable. It is a goal of Snow College to have access to anyone who wants a college education. Specifically for these students, because they're online students, they get our in-state rate of tuition. And
wow.
Hold on to your socks.
Okay.
We only charge $1,808 per semester this year, which is basically unheard of in many places. Our tuition is quite low compared to others in our same category and across the nation. So students who are participating with Snow College and doing it through the online program, less than $2,000 a semester, and they're good to go.
Okay, so cost is very low. For full-time tuition, it's considered, even though these young people are out of state, they're in Arizona, they pay whatever the in-state rate is in Utah, which is unheard of. And it's already low as it is. But it's not important if the credits don't transfer. Talk to me about transferability of credits.
Yeah, so Snow College is accredited regionally by the Northwest Commission of Colleges and Universities, which means that we have that accreditation that allows our courses to be transferable basically to any institution in the nation. There's a lot of schools that they actually look at Snow College and they're like, bring your students. We know your students are going to be successful. We'll transfer every single course that can come in. So transferability is really important to us and to maintain that. And I know it's important for the league because these players ultimately have a goal to move on to, maybe a D1 school. Sure. or something like that. And so we want those credits to transfer seamlessly.
Okay, so essentially the credits will transfer anywhere. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's as any other accredited school would. So you got low cost tuition, you got transferability of credits. How many of the student athletes, if each team right now has between 60 and 75, and there's 5 teams out there, what percentage would you say right now of the student athletes are currently going the route of Snow College? And I know this is only the first year of the partnership, so it will only continue to grow.
Right. So with this first year, we do know that there are some students that are finishing up where they were. We have about 240 some odd students that have taken advantage of this partnership with Snow College.
Okay.
And like you said, I only think that's going to grow from here.
Yeah, and that's more than half of the young men that are on these 5 teams. So that is incredible. For year one, that is just amazing. And you're always going to get a percentage, again, that are going to be finishing credits elsewhere that are part of the HJCAC. So incredible. Okay, one more question that I have for you related to academics is academic support. You guys are up in Utah. So how does that work?
Right. It seems like it would be a little bit out there. but we are really committed, and Snow College is known for its personalized touch. So one of the things that we have done is we have hired academic advisors that their sole responsibility is to work with these students to ensure that they're performing academically. So these advisors are reaching out every week. They're checking to see how many times they've logged into their course. They're following up, calling them, hey, looks like you didn't do too hot on that quiz. What can we do to get you there? And we also have a lot of services available, such as 24/7 online tutoring that we just launched. So there are resources for these students, and they have the academic support they need to be successful.
Well, not only that, but I've been told that advisors are periodically coming down to Arizona to meet with these student athletes directly. How many times a year is that going on, and what occasions typically bring them down?
So we've had a couple of things. We bring advisors down at, and this is our plan moving forward, to register students so that they get that one-on-one advising appointment. We do have a couple of dedicated advisors that will go down periodically through the year. We haven't quite decided what that timeframe is going to be, but they will go meet mid-semester with these students to check in on them. I think it's important to have that face-to-face. This is how much we're committed to this, is that we're willing to send people down to Arizona in order to help these students be successful.
We've been speaking with Terry Clausen, who is the Vice President of Enrollment and Student Success at Snow College, going through and talking about this exciting first-year partnership, hopefully to continue for many years to come, with the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Terry, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the future.
Thanks so much, Vince. I really appreciate it.
All right, folks, welcome back. And what an exciting partnership with Snow College and the HJCAC. And it really adds credence to the mission of these coaches to not only develop young men, young people to play on the field, but to perform off the field as great students. And as Terry Clausen had said, being successful in life. And that's what it's all about. So you got competitive tuition, you've got transferability, you've got outstanding academic support. I mean, you can't beat it. And so for anybody looking for an option to stay close to home, to continue to develop and to be mentored by some great leaders, the HJCAC, I'm sold on it, obviously, as I'm a product of the junior colleges, and I see what these guys do. I work with them day to day, and what they do and how they develop young people. It's a great opportunity. So tonight we are streaming two football games. The Gila River Hawks are hosting Arizona Christian, and that'll be out at Campo Verde High School, but we'll be streaming it. Look for it online on Twitter. You can find the link at Varsity Show. And then out at Santan Charter, we've got the Papago Pumas that are hosting a game as well. It'll be exciting. It's great matchups, and look for those links once again on our Twitter feed at Varsity Show. So, ladies and gentlemen, another great show. Thanks again for tuning in. I'd like to thank our guests this morning. Buckeye High School with a big win on Thursday night over Deer Valley, and Hawks coach Kelly Moore joined us in the first segment. Saguaro High School, big win last night over Sierra Canyon out of Southern California, out of Chatsworth, California, the LA area in the San Fernando Valley. Saguaro head football coach Jason Mons joining us for the SaberCat Report. We had Canyon View High School head football coach Nick Garretts joining us for the Jag Nation. Big win for them last night over Kofa out in Yuma. Temple, newly named athletic director, an old friend of mine named Arthur Johnson, reminiscing a little bit about his time at ASU where we worked together years back and the task ahead of him at Temple. Excited for he and his family. Snow College Vice President Terry Clausen joining us in the JUCO Report. Broadcaster Bailey Leisure. Thanks, Bailey, for joining us in that first segment. Broadcaster Ryan Sikora. Thanks, Ryan, for joining us for the SaberCat Report. All of our show partners, Angel Dentistry, Fixed Body Group, Vets Build Contracting, TBA, Training Better Athletes, 24th Street Dental Billboard, Show Boss AV, Mike Recruits. Folks, thank you. Ed and Javon are up next. Big thank you to our producer, Aaron Decker. Another outstanding job as usual. Listen up next for Easy Sports. And thank you to our listeners. We'll be back next week, same bad time, same bad station. I'm Vince. We are out. It's the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Full-time job, and that's not even counting your job. You deserve a healthcare provider who understands where you're coming from and where you have to be next. At Banner Health, we work with you to deliver the care you need when and where it's best for you. With video visits, a 24/7 Nurse Now line, and more. We're dedicated to keeping you and your family healthy so you can focus on what truly matters. Banner Health. Less worry, more care.
Hello, Arizona. Switching to Geico is a good